There's a fish. There's a fish. Yeah, it's a fish. It's a fish. 100% a fish. Oh my gosh. That's our best throw of the day. Is that something different?
The entire lake is filled back up. Welcome back, guys. We have once again found ourselves out here in the creek of the draining lake to do our bi-monthly survey to see what exactly is living out here. The last time I was here, it wasn't good. I only caught a few fish. I think I caught 5 fish, but I also saw like a dozen fish dead up on the bank because they had been eaten by what appeared to be otters or raccoons or something. Since then, a lot has changed. It's gotten much colder. We just had a huge snowstorm, had like 2 weeks of temperatures just around the freezing mark, and we also had a lot of rain. And this creek actually got way out of bounds, flooded all through these woods. And so I am extremely curious to find out if there are still some fish hanging out in here, how they're doing, what that looks like. Prior to the last time I was here, there was a bunch of fish. I was catching a lot of bass and bowfin and pickerel and things. But they were starting to kind of get that kind of big head, kind of skinny body looking look to them, I guess because of the lack of forage. But I'm hoping maybe that has changed today, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to catch something because honestly, guys, this place looks beautiful. The water is like this most beautiful, kind of milky, turquoise green. It's very unusual for this spot, and I'm not sure why it looks like that. But that honestly means nothing to me if there's not any fish swimming around, which I feel like there is. And there's definitely the chance when this thing flooded that some new fish could have entered it from down lake somewhere. I'm not really sure where that would have been, but they could have got in here somewhere. I'm seeing a bunch of turtles, so there is some life, but is there any fish? We're gonna hike back here to the highest percentage area and start casting. I've got 2 rods with me. I've got a little red crankbait that runs shallow. I was wishing that I had that last time. And I've also got a finesse jig from 6 Cents Fishing. 2 lures I think should work. We've got a beautiful day. As you can see, it's very sunny. It's like 60 degrees. So really, really nice compared to what it has been. And I'm feeling optimistic we'll be able to find something. So if y'all are pumped to join along with me on this expedition out here, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and let's see what we can get done. Let's go. Guys, I just took a break in my walk to do a little bit of herping, and look what I found. It's a little central newt. This is an adult. So I noticed we had these little puddles of water here, and in the past I used to kick up the leaves in here and find salamanders, and I was like, let's see if there's any salamanders here. This has been bone dry forever, but with a little bit of water, all of a sudden we've got some central newts. Ain't he cute? I'm gonna go ahead and release him. You can see right here I just kicked up the leaves and he came right out. I'm gonna send him back right where I found him. These adults live in the water. There he goes. That's cool. What if I kick up another one? We'll do a little couple kicks real quick. Might as well. We're already here. That's all I did. I just got up here and I just kicked the leaves up. And then you just look in there and see if you see anything. See some little bugs.
There's a fish. There's a fish. There we go, on the jig. There's at least one. Let's go. Guys, that's so encouraging to see. We got our first fish. Hadn't been fishing too terribly long. It took us a while to get back to this spot. And it was probably about, maybe 10 casts in. It's only like the second or third one with the jig. I tried with the crankbait first. But this fish is ice cold, but he was willing to eat. The Axel Finesse hybrid jig from 6 Cents Fishing. I got a pinched down Congo craw on the back of that thing, but not a monster. Not a bad looking fish though. He's probably 1.75 pounds. Would be 2 pounds if he was filled out a little bit more, but we'll definitely take that for our first catch of the day. Let's go ahead and send him back in the water
See me catch another one. We'll see you later. So, getting that first bite on the jig definitely kind of lets me know they will bite something slow crawling down on the bottom, which you would expect. The water is really cold. But again, that's that hybrid finesse axle jig from Stix Fishing. It's called the axle because it's actually got a free swinging hook. You can see it can undulate up and down. Really cool jig. I'm just throwing it on a 7.2 heavy mod fast action Team 6 rod. This is an awesome jig rod, and I've got 50 pounds straight braid. I'm giving it to him. I thought the water would be dirty, but it's actually pretty clear, so hopefully the braid doesn't affect me getting more bites, but I don't think it will. We already caught that one. Let's fire this thing back up in there and see if we can catch another. Well, as encouraged as I was after I caught that first fish, after not being in the creek for very long at all, I've since been out here almost 3 hours with exactly 0 more bites. It's crazy. You know, on a day like today, if there were some fish here with the water conditions that we have, I would have caught some. I would have caught more. I mean, I'm throwing the juiciest little finesse jig. I know they like it. I'm throwing that little crankbait. I'm also mixing a few other little soft plastics that I had on me, a little shaky head worms. Nothing, not a bite, nothing at all. And like right here, I mean, this spot right here is, I mean, pretty much the deepest water left in the creek. It's like usually my ace in the whole spot. Like guaranteed, if there's something out here, we're gonna catch it. And I definitely could have. I definitely feel like there's more than one bass in here. But the reality is, I don't know if there's enough out here worth chasing anymore. So. That's 2 trips in a row that have been pretty bad. These fish could have got washed downstream somewhere. I really don't know. It's, yeah, but not looking good for this spot. And I think it's safe to say that I probably will not be fishing here anymore. This could be the very last time that I fish this spot for a very long time, given the state of the lake, you know, with it being drained all the way down. And, you know, in this little hole that was holding some fish, now it seems to not be holding very many at all. So we'll see. I might have a change of heart at some point in the future, but right now, done with it. Done. Definitely won't be back here until at least it warms up a good bit. But with that, I'm going to hike out of here, get back to my truck, and I guess I'm gonna have to go somewhere else to try to find some fish. All right, guys, big developments in the story. So you just watched me down there at the creek trying to see what kind of life was still living out there. We caught that one fish. I figure there's probably a few more out there, but it's not looking good. We should have caught more if there was more. But since then, it has actually rained. It rained that night and it rained all the next day. And then behold, we have the entire lake is filled back up. I'm over here at the boat ramp. Look back out that way. There's just water as far as the eye can see. It's absolutely incredible. Like what, you know, one good rain can do to this place. Like, I mean, it rained all day. It wasn't like torrential downpour all day, but like just a steady, just good rain filled this lake up almost all the way to Winter Pool, which is just like 2 feet lower than average. It's crazy. I haven't seen a lake this high since last winter. And we're about to go do some more exploring. I got the boat. I actually just dumped it in. We're gonna go over there and get in it here in just a moment. And we're going to probe around and see if we can find any fish. I'm very curious because, you know, we had the couple of massive fish kills this summer. A lot of fish died. There were some pools of water that were holding fish still, but it was mostly like bowfin and carp and gar and stuff. And then there was a pool over here I think was holding some game fish, but I came out here a couple of times and they were just getting swarmed by cormorants and pelicans and stuff. So I think that a lot of the fish got by birds. So I'm really eager to get out here, troll around. I have my my live scope hooked up on the boat. We're just gonna use the forward-facing sonar and just see if we can see any sort of fish life at all. And if we see anything like swimming around worth casting, I'm gonna cast at it and see if we can catch it. But I'm excited to show you all the lake. It looks awesome. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that the lake is up this high after just that one rain. But you know, it'd be even sweeter if we didn't have those massive fish kills this summer and I knew that there was still a bunch of fish out here, but I honestly just don't know. I don't think there's a lot. It's gonna be very hard, I think, to find some fish, and if we do find some, they're probably gonna be buffalo and bowfin and stuff like that, but who knows, you know? Only way to figure out is to go out there in the boat and scope around and see what we can find. So we're gonna do that, and fingers crossed, we do run into some fish. As I'm walking back to my boat, I mean, you can see, you know, the grass that has been inundated with the water. I mean, that's been dry for so long. I mean, there hasn't been any water out here in this pocket for forever, and that's relatively deep. Like, it's crazy. And then as you look out that way towards the lake, as we're walking up the sidewalk, you can see there's just endless amounts of water. It looks like an actual lake. I mean, just a few months ago, there was no water out there where those trees are. It was just dry land. Literally just dry land as far as you could see out that way. The boat ramp, like, normally the boat ramp ends kind of level with that dock. I mean, look at all the water between here and there. Like, it's crazy. It is so crazy. But I can't contain my excitement any longer. Let's go jump in. I mean, there hasn't been water underneath this dock in ages. Just water everywhere. But is there any fish? Let's find out. Look at us, guys. We are out here on the lake. It's as if nothing ever happened here, except for, as we all know, a lot has gone down. The water has gone down all the way, but right now I am actually sitting in one of the deepest stretches of this lake. This is a lake within the lake, and this area has held water throughout this entire process. Even when the lake was at its lowest of lows, there was still water out here, and it was enough water to keep some fish living in here. But as I said, you know, a lot of fish died. Some birds definitely got in here and definitely, you know, I think cleared out some additional game fish and rough fish. But I figured this is the best place to start looking, is out here in this deeper water, because it's still winter time. The water temperature is 49 degrees, but take a look at this. I've got my screen hooked up, and if you see these little dots, little dot right there, that is a fish. And as I pan over that way, you can see down at the bottom there's a school of fish. I don't know what those are. Those are probably catfish. I don't really know. It's hard to tell. And then if you look, like right there, look at that. Those are probably shad. Like, that's a school of shad right there, guys. You see them? Look at them. Right there. Those are shad. So there's bait fish. Like, those are probably shad. I don't know. I've got my cast net. I was wanting to throw my cast net around, see if I can actually catch something in it. I've got bait too, but that right there appears to be some shad. See that? I think those are shad. I mean, I guess it could be something else, but definitely some fish. There's some fish living out here in the lake. Seeing some bait fish and some little things. Haven't seen anything big. There's something sneaking around on the bottom right here. Look right here. Right there. That's a little sneaky bottom dweller. That could be a catfish. You see, we're in 8 foot of water. It's 48-degree water temperature. So if the lake came up, you know, 4 feet in a couple of days, this was 4 feet deep just a few days ago. But still, there's a fish. Where'd he go? If you're unfamiliar with this type of sonar, we're looking for little dots in the middle of the column. And those would be fish. I don't see them. Oh, we got something coming in. Got 30 feet away. Those are a little bit bigger. Hold on now, what's that? What are you? Probably some shad. Probably some big shad. Big gizzards, but they could be some crappie. I think those are shad also. Pretty sweet, look at them. They're just zooming. They're like, whoa, we got water! Okay. I can confirm there are still some living and breathing fish out here, and it's honestly encouraging to see bait fish, because the amount of bait fish that existed in this lake prior to the draining was just unbelievable. There were so many gizzards and threadfins and golden shiners and just so many, you know, smaller sunfish, and there was so much food availability for these fish, and that's why this lake has been so good for so long. Along with all the cover, I mean, you can see the thousands and thousands and thousands of stumps and just cover these fish can hang out in, but there's just so much food. And so that's why you'll see, like, the populations of our largemouth and our populations of crappie, the average size was so good compared to other lakes, because we had this overabundance of forage and it just allows, you know, for more fish in the lake to get a good size. And of course, y'all saw that in all of our videos. I mean, we caught so many quality fish, so many quality largemouth, and then don't even get me started on the crappie. You know, the keeper size crappie out here has to be 10 inches, and I mean, I feel like the majority of the crappie in this lake were 10 inches. You rarely got on a school of crappie, and they were all dinks and not 10 inchers. So let's turn back our focus on the graph and see if we can see anything else interesting. There's some spots out here. I mean, you can see this thing goes way out there. I'm kind of getting around here by these trees. You can see here in front of me, I got some stumps. I'm trying to see if there's any like crappie schooled up, or if there's a bass. Like that right there looks like a bass. You see that? You see that by that stump? That little dot looks like a sneaky bass. That's kind of how bass set up back here on these stumps, kind of just suspend halfway down them. Really, in the middle of this tree right here, not really seeing anything hanging out in the tree. Let me know if you see anything. It can be hard to see. Like that right there though, see that? Right. There, you see that? Those are fish. What are you? What kind of fish are you? There's a big giant fish right there. All right, that's Crash. These stumps are massive. Hey, these are remnants of old giant cypress trees and like all their knees. Like see all these little stick-ups? All those stick-ups are old cypress knees. These were once some massive cypress trees, but they've since pretty much like petrified. Okay guys, I'm going to throw my net a couple times. I'm just curious if I can even catch anything. I'm seeing what appears to be some shad kind of in and around this area that I'm in. They kind of just keep coming in and out of view on my screen, but I figured this would be a good way to do some sampling just to see what is in here. A decent way. Might be a little bit faster than casting a line out. Oh my gosh, I got something. I got a shad. Look at this. I actually caught a shad. Oh, there is life. There's shad. We can confirm it. We got our hands on him. And I'm thinking that we got to do some fishing. So I'm going to keep this shad. I'm going to cut him up and use it for bait. I've got a couple of catfish poles in here. I've also got some night growlers. So I might throw the net a couple more times so I can get a couple more shad. But there was at least one gizzard shad still living out here. That's awesome. I'm going to rig up this shad head on this Carolina rig. Get him right through the dome. We'll toss him out here. Hopefully it gets hit by something. I'm gonna put this chunk on this rig. These are just some catfish rods I already had rigged up. Might be a little bit overkill for what we might catch here, but you never know. Let's send this one out there pretty far. Oh my God, I got a fish. I've got a fish. I've got a fish on this pole. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it's a fish. It's a fish. 100% a fish. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've got a fish. Come on, be something good. This is my last little piece of shad. Oh my gosh. What is that? It's a catfish. Get in here. We did it. We caught a fish. Haha, we got one. Oh my goodness. I threw my drone up, was flying it around. I've been sitting here for like, how long has it been? 45 minutes. I've had these baits out here just sitting here chilling. And we just caught a fish out here in the draining lake. And it's a solid little channel catfish. He's not super thick, but he's decent size. He's probably close to 3 pounds. Let's go. We caught one.
I've had this night crawler out here sitting and this other shad sitting out here just this whole time with nothing. And boom. I noticed my line was doing something weird and we got ourselves a channel cat. It's official. It's official, guys. There's at least a channel catfish out here swimming around, which I expected there to be some channel cats. They're pretty hardy. Well, we can check that off the list. A fish caught out here in the draining lake in 2025. A channel catfish. And while there is currently no limits, you can keep and eat as many fish as you want to out of here right now. I'm gonna send this fish back. Hopefully he'll make it. Hopefully he'll survive and be one of the fish that is out here whenever they decide to close up the dam and let the fish run wild again. Heck yeah, that is so cool. Beautiful channel catfish. You love to see it. And it's so cool we caught it on rod and reel. I wish I had some more shad. I'm gonna send him back. We'll give you a nice little release. There he goes. That water is cold. Heck yeah. All right, we got the shad head back on the pink rod. I'm gonna toss it back out there in the same spot where I had the other bite. Maybe we'll get another bite. Somewhere out there. Well, as fun as it has been to sit out here on the home pond once again and do a little catfish, a little bottom fishing, and actually catching a catfish. It's been quite some time since we had another bite. I'm out of shad. I wish I had some more shad. I think if I had some more and maybe had like a 4-rod spray, we might get a little bit more action. But we don't have that right now. So I think I'm gonna pull the plug on this. And I'm actually planning on loading up and taking y'all over to another spot on the lake. We're gonna go down there and check out the dam. I know there's gonna be a lot of water going through the dam and through a couple of pipes underneath the levee. And it'd be interesting to see what kind of fish are hanging out down there now, because when the water's flowing, a lot of fish come up out of the main slough this thing flows out into. So we could throw the casting out there and really get into something crazy. So I'm interested in seeing what could be lurking down there. So I'm gonna pull these up, we're gonna load up, and I'll catch you guys down there at the dam. As promised, we made our way down here below the dam, and guys, it is such an unbelievable sight. There is so much water rushing through the dam right now, and this place is completely flooded. A complete contrast to what it looked like just, you know, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was so low, but it's been a long time since I've seen this much water going through the gates of the dam. And I mean, it just looks like it, you know, used to whenever we'd have some rain, just flooded up. The only thing that's different is that normally there would be a lot of people down here fishing, maybe doing some snagging for some buffalo or just whatever. But it's just really cool to see, and I'm gonna do some more exploring, but I'm fixing to go up and grab my cast net and throw it around and see if there's anything down here besides shad. There's a bunch of shad. There's a ton of shad. I mean, they're surfacing everywhere, but I am interested to see if there are any game fish hanging out down here too, because we might come back down here another day with some more conventional tackle, maybe even launch the kayak and float downstream a little bit and see if we can't catch some fish down here, because I feel like this should be a prime spot. Okay, I'm insanely curious to see what we can catch in this cast net right here. Probably a bunch of shad, but you never know. I think I got just one or two or three. We got three. Got a gizzard and a threadfin. Pretty sweet. And there's a spot right down here. If I throw the net, I might catch 500 of them. This looks juicy. I know it's a little snaggy. It's like a little pre-dam to the actual dam. Just gotta be careful not to get snagged up. Very snaggy down here. Oh baby. Looks like some more shad. Just a bunch of threadies. Nice thread fins. Some more shad. Golly, a bunch of shad. Anything besides shad. It's just shad. That one's gonna mix up gizzards and thread fins. These are gizzards. You can tell because the front of their face is rounded off. Some more shad. Nothing crazy. Some more little threadies. Okay, we're gonna try to cast net a couple more places. This spot right here is usually pretty good by these pipes and these bricks. There's a nice little backwater area. Surely there's something else down here besides shad. Now I'm happy to see the shad. I love the shad. Everybody likes shad. We need shad. We need all the shad we can get. And if these shad are swimming, you know, through the dam and back up into the lake, that's awesome too. As we already saw earlier in the video, as we saw when I was out in the boat, there's some shad out there. Shad is key. We need as many shad as possible. So whenever this lake comes back, we'll have a head start. Let's see what kind of shad we'll catch this time. Oh my gosh. I had my net all weird. Let's try that again. Hope I didn't scare anything cool down there. That's how you throw a cast net. Gosh dang, look at all them shad. It's a mix of different sizes too. It's weird, I think I just caught only gizzard shad this time. That's a good one right there. I like to toss that one out live and catch me a striper with him. Could hold some fish. Oh, spooked something. Look at all this fish I spooked. Oh gosh, that net is thick. That's our best throw of the day. Is that something different? Oh, we got a bluegill. No, it's a crappie. I've got a ton of shad in there, but look at this. First non-shad of the day, a little white crappie. You love to see it. Oh, like 3.5 incher, 4 incher. That's cool. Tossing back. I got a ton of shad in this net that time. I'm glad we risked it for the biscuit for that throw. You see all these shad. Last spot I'm gonna throw the net, saving the best for last, hopefully. Gotta be a little bit mindful of what we're doing so we don't fall in, but it's not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. Just walk across these pipes, get on the brick, and don't fall in. We've caught a ton of crazy fish right here in the past. Yeah, this looks good. And we caught nothing. Anticlimactic. Gotta do slightly better than that. I think the current might have closed my net up prematurely. Surprised me I haven't landed on top of like a big crazy fish like a drum or a buffalo yet. Nothing? Ooh, that's annoying. We caught a ton just right here on this other side of me. I think the current's a little too fast. I think it's closing the net up. Let's do one more just for good measure. Yeah, it's closing the net up. We got a couple that time though. All right, rounding out the cast net session with a couple more gizzards. There they are. Don't want to jack them up. Just we're not using for bait, so let's get them back in the water real quick. There they go. All right, this is what the dam looks like. It's crazy. Looks good. Maybe in a few days, with the warm weather we're gonna have, maybe some more fish will swim up in here from down below. Definitely be coming back soon and checking this out.
Well, I think it's going to be it for today's video, guys. We have been running around everywhere the last few days. You know, we started off in the back of that creek, surveying it to see if there's any fish living back there. We did catch that one bass, and I'm sure that there are some more, but it was pretty discouraging to not catch more than that under those conditions. It was really good. But then we had the monsoon, and then all of a sudden we've got a lake again. It's crazy. And we launched the boat and actually caught a catfish. So that's pretty cool. And we saw some fish out there on our scope, some shad, some other mystery fish. I want to go back out there again and, you know, maybe put in a few extra hours, maybe deploy a few extra tactics, see if we can catch something besides, you know, a catfish or a drum or a shad out there. I think it's possible. It's gonna be difficult, but would be definitely pretty cool if we could. And then of course we just rounded it out here at the dam. It's crazy to see all the water going out of the dam right now, and to see the abundance of shad down there, and the shad that are actually swimming through the dam back into the lake. So it'd be cool if we can get, you know, some more shad to swim into the lake, just to kind of restock. I know a lot of them died this summer, but really the shad, the bait fish are the most important thing out here in this lake, along with all the cover that's already out here, because that is what has made this lake so good for so many years, just the abundance of bait fish for all these fish to eat. So it's cool to see all the shad. It was cool to catch that one little crappie in the net. But again, I think that give it a few more days, we can go back out there, maybe toss some lures like some jigs, or maybe even toss some cut shad out there and maybe catch some additional fish. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain that there are some game fish down there, along with definitely some buffalo. You just gotta, you know, get the snag hook out and snag those guys, and I don't want to do that. But anyways, like I said, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. You know, I care so much about this lake, and I just like to kind of, you know, share the updates that I have with y'all as I see them and as it happens in real time. So we're going to continue to do that, you know, throughout this entire process until this whole thing is done. Hopefully we'll get some clarity soon from some higher ups about what the plan is, because I don't really know. Nobody really knows. There's been a lot of speculation and rumors swirling about a bunch of different things. It's a weird deal, and nobody can give anybody a straight answer, and that's frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. So for now, we're just gonna pray for rain. And, you know, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are more fish out here in the lake than I think there are, but you know, I saw it this summer. I saw it, you know, this fall when the thing was absolutely bone dry with just puddles, and I saw what was living in there, and it wasn't much except for some bowfin and some gar. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning into this episode. If y'all enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more. We'll see you again real soon on the next episode. Bye guys.